the other day I was sitting on my porcelain throne and thinking, as I always do, and a rather curious thought came to my mind. I wonder, how does the No Man's Sky now compare to what it was on the launch? And so thanks to, let's just call it an internet archival, I was able to pick up the first version of No Man's Sky. And it was, and of course, instead of landing on the landing pad, it lands here, right? Well, that's the wonderful AI. Yeah. Now, before I jump back to the first version of No Man's Sky, the current version is, well, let's just say, a really good one, to be honest. There's plenty to do and plenty to grind, as a matter of fact. There are still bugs, like... a lot of them, but still, it's pretty okay at the very least. So I booted up the first version, and the first thing that came to my mind was, oh my god, my eyes! My eyes! And so the next thing that I was painfully reminded of was the fact that you can't stack things anymore. Like the products that you craft or things that you find in canisters. Sure, materials were stackable, but even those had the limit of 250 units, in comparison to 10,000 unit stack in the current version. That is, if you're playing a normal type of a game. Actually, that reminds me too. It used to be that there were no game modes or saves available, so you just simply started the game and it started. There was no menu, it just immediately went. After that, the next thing that honestly aggravated me, and still does honestly aggravate me, is the fact that you were forcibly prevented from ramming things on the planets. Now, of course, yeah, you can ram things here and there, but the thing is, I think that used to be that there were no damaged models on the planets. So to avoid coding that in, let's just prevent player from actually touching the ground. God. Oh, and of course, speaking of ships and sort of walking around, it's day 76. After walking a little bit further away from my ship, I think I've lost it. I can't find it anymore. Oh, wait, there it is. My god, it's so far. How am I gonna get it back? Do I really need to walk there? I'm gonna die. Send help. So, yeah, summoning your vehicle not only helps you with finding your ship or getting back in it, it also helps you relocate it in case you landed on something that you wanted to mine, for example. And speaking of annoyances that are greater than having a casual surprise butt sex in a sunny day, and these constant cinematic borders, I still abhor them. And sure, I suppose these days you can kind of skip them, but they're still there, and they're still pretentious as fuck. It's like every time you try to do something, the game really wants to tell you, I'm an indie artsy-fartsy thing. As if I didn't know already from the outlook. Fucking piece of shit, let me interact. And this, my friends, is why doing the artsy-fartsy things are disgusting oftentimes, and should not be done. But speaking of something a bit more positive that changed over time, missions! Yes, back in the day you actually didn't have missions as such, I suppose. You had some notifications on the bottom right corner, but whether or not you would consider them as missions, who knows? These days, you can select whatever you want to display and what else. You don't need to scroll through them, or rather, wait until they scroll through all the messages that appear on that very same bottom right corner. So let's just say direction of the story and overall main plotline was as direct as a wedding proposal wish after getting yourself pregnant by stabbing your boyfriend's condom before aggressively mounting him. So yeah. No, seriously, it hasn't changed almost at all, I think. But I do still love these crystals. That's one thing that they did definitely nicely, I guess. The crystal things. They look really cool. But if there's one thing that I'm sort of missing from the old version of No Man's Sky, then that would be menus and the speed and response of it, because the current menus, yeah, they kind of look better and they have a little bit more functionality, but they're slower. And if there's one thing I don't like to see in a game, it's definitely bogging down on something. Oh, but returning to annoyances, the fucking sentinels! And this was way more annoying than, yeah, when your screen shakes so much. You may see how this gets pretty annoying, and well, pretty disgusting soon. And you can't shoot them outside. You're inside, they... Who are you? Hey, 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 hey. You did a bad thing? No? Oh. Okay. We're leaving. Maybe not. We're doing something. I don't know. Hello. I'm stuck. And I'm just continuously scanning something. Privacy? I need some fucking privacy? I know I'm sort of breaking in and breaking and entering, sure, but oh, now you're leaving, huh? At least one of you attempts it. The other one, world's best cops. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? I guess step inside my own house or someone else's house. Doesn't matter where. Yeah. But that has been changed, well, in the last update, as a matter of fact. So, no more sentinels appearing like a secret hemorrhoid whenever you try to dig something. Oh, and as I look back when I first played No Man's Sky, this particular thing kinda came to my mind. Oh yeah, let me demonstrate the weapon physics, let's just say so. You want to shoot forward, when you strafe from the side to side, this is what happens. Now, of course, these days, whenever you're using a weapon, the projectiles that you shoot do not inherit your momentum. And I know that that's kind of innovative thing, not to inherit momentum, but I don't know. FPS games been doing that for like ever, and not doing that in the first place kinda made me question, what the fuck were those indie cunts doing? Man, sometimes indie developers just baffle me. Harpaderp, we're gonna reinvent first-person shooters. And swimming sucked back then, and still sucks. The same goes with the space combat. It's garbage. Okay, yeah, if there's one thing I still hate about No Man's Sky, it's just the bloom. My eyes! So in general, I'd say those would be the more obvious things that from version to version are different and more annoying, less annoying, and changed over the time. Of course, I didn't mention that No Man's Sky during this time, during these 3 years, gained building, extra vehicles, the freighters, and more. So yeah, over the years, honestly, it has improved quite a lot. Even though there are still some annoyances still appearing, and bugs. Lots and lots of bugs, of course. But you also tend to, well, tolerate them for the most part. Because the things the developers are making, and have made, are making the game way better than it was. So honestly, I'm looking forward to the next releases and everything else. What about you? Have you played the archived version of the old No Man's Sky, and what do you think of it now that you have played the new version? Let me know down below, and of course do share the video, check the Patreon link down below, and all that good stuff. But as for me, well, I think I'm gonna go rest my eyes. I think I burnt my retinas.